Welcome back to my calligraphy series. This is part 4 where I'll write out the italic capitals with slab serifs. If you haven't watched part 3 where I go through the plain italic capitals, I would highly recommend that, as it'll make adding the slabs way easier since obviously you already know the letters and like the stroke order and everything. The first thing to remember with italic capitals is the 15-degree pen angle. It's not 45, it's 15, so you draw your square, you divide it by 3, and that's about 15 right there. So you're going to hold your pen at this angle when you write the capitals. It'll get you a lot fuller capitals because the verticals will be a lot thicker than the horizontals. See the 15 versus 45, it'll get you fuller capitals. One thing to note when writing capitals, I don't know if I mentioned this last episode, is that you need to space your letters differently depending on which letters they are. So for an A and T, you don't need that much space, if any, between those letters because there's a lot of white space in between them. Versus if you have letters like H and I or something, where it's two flat letters, you do need space because, well, your I looks at not the space between the start of the second letter and the end of the first letter, but it looks at the white space. There are mainly going to be like 2 or 3 serifs. The first one is you're going to hold your pen at a 15-degree angle, and you see it on H a lot, and you just give it that slab. So it's just the slab serif. The second one is when you see on C. It's that up there, even though that's not the best C. But you can see that there's a different serif up there. So you can, on C, just, add the slab. But it doesn't look quite as good in my opinion. So to do the serif, you come over and then turn your pen on a point and come down. It's really hard, and I obviously don't have it perfected, but you can see the idea there. And then the third serif is only on K, but I don't think I'm going to go over that right now. Okay, let's start with A. A is pretty basic. If you want, you can make the first stroke and start at 45 degrees. So your first stroke is lighter, so it doesn't look like the same. But you're going to come down, make that slab there, the crossbar, then overlap these strokes, and a second slab. Now you either can make this second slab, or there's another variation where you can come down and immediately just go right and do a half slab. So that looks something like that, except I maybe made it too big. But whichever one looks better, you can pick and choose. B belongs to the half width group, so you want it to be very thin. You come down, you're going to start behind the first bar that you make for the serif at the bottom. And again at the top. Keep the top counter smaller than the bottom counter. And it's about like that. It's only the 2 slab serifs on the top and bottom there. C, I've already shown it, but I'll try it again. It's a hard letter to write. D, do it like B, where you start behind the slab. And again at the top. Now this is in the 1-to-1 width group, so you can make it pretty wide here, but I may have done it slightly too wide here, so just watch the width. E, again, you have that serif that you see on C and on the second stroke. On the bottom stroke there, I just came up a bit. However, the middle stroke you see there should actually be slightly higher, because it's higher than the midline. Perhaps like there, And if you can help it, make this a little straighter than I do. So, more like that. Alright, F is similar to E. You come down. This time you add a slab at the bottom. Add the serif, make this middle stroke slightly lower, and add the serif again. One thing to know about the slabs I forgot to mention is they're going to be slightly concave toward the center here. So if it's at the top, it's going to be concave this way. If it's at the bottom, it's going to be concave this way. I obviously exaggerated that a lot. It's going to be more like this, or like this, but I'm just showing which direction. Alright, G is similar to C, coming at 15 degrees, add that serif there, and then draw the rest of it normally. H, I already showed it. Keep that center line above the midline. You can make the serifs fairly wide here. It doesn't really matter if they come into this counter. There's a lot of white space here. Versus for A, this space here, you don't want to get into it too much. I, pretty simple. Add the top serif, come down. Add the bottom serif, except somehow I messed it up. Try it again. That's a better I. J is also pretty simple. You're going to make the slab, and then just remember not to go more than halfway here down to the descender line. See, that's about halfway, and just keep the bottom of the J about there. K, this is a complicated letter. This had the special serif I was talking about. Add the slab, come down, add a second slab, and then you're going to switch your pen angle to completely horizontal, like this. You're going to come over, and you're going to switch it to 15 degrees, and come down to here. And then obviously you're going to go down here and add that serif. You're just going to go like this, and then like this, okay? And the second one, you're going to make it sharp. So you end up with this little serif here, like that. It's slightly better. It's one of the harder serifs to make though, so it's okay if it's not absolutely perfect. Make sure to keep this bottom counter larger than the top counter, which I have not done here. Otherwise the letter looks like very top heavy and unstable. Same with like B and E. L is pretty simple. You just do a slab, start behind the line again. I maybe made that too wide. L is in the 1 to 2 width group, half as wide as it is tall. So make sure not to make it too wide. M, oh my. Come down as the first stroke. Add your slab. Then you're going to start back here and keep this straight. And then come down to the center. Make that turn very straight, don't curve it. Then make this stroke. Use the corner of your pen there. For this stroke, what you have to do is you have to have a 15-degree pen angle, come over, and come down, and then come over like that. Make sure to keep this one as slanted as this one is. So this one's too straight and this one's maybe too slanted. Also, I've forgotten, you want to steepen your pen angle to like this on the first stroke. So it's, you can see here, all the strokes are kind of really thick and it doesn't look great. But if you steepen your pen angle on the first stroke, it looks better. Let me try again. That's the idea of the M. It's one of the harder letters to write. N is fairly simple. I've forgotten again, you need to steepen the first stroke. Draw your serif. Come back like you did with M. Use the corner of your pen. Steepen your stroke. Keep these two lines parallel. Come down and use the corner of your pen and add that last slab. I believe I'm tilting letters too much. I am having to write at a bit of an angle here. They should only be tilted like 5 degrees. This seems to be like 10. O doesn't have any serif. just a plain O. P, you actually have two alternate ways to do P and R. So you just add the slab, and you can either come in like this and go like this, where you round this back part, or with R, I'll show you, you can come in slightly straighter. That's R. You just have the one slab. So you can either come in like this on P and R, or you can come in like this. I prefer the second one because it's like less curvy. I feel like swash caps, if you ever look into those, this is what it would look like, and it doesn't look as bold as like it's a capital. And I skipped Q here to show the line up there. Q is just Q. There's actually no serif for the slab serifs. Okay, S. I'm horrendous at S's. I will try it. So the top serif, you just have one serif on the top, and that is the one you see on E and C. It's like this. Then you come down and across, finish it off. Again, the bottom counter here needs to be larger than the top one, so it doesn't look top heavy. That's a little better. Maybe this stroke needs to curve down more. T, start with the top line, I believe. Draw a thin horizontal line, and then come across. You can come up there, and a slab. So you just have a couple small serifs on each end of that bar. U, fairly simple. Make the slab at the top, down and over. Make sure you come up enough. Slab at the top again, and just that serif you see on M and A, where it's just that little bit. It's more like probably like this, the first stroke. Don't go under that line. V, serif, and then don't start your first stroke back here. Start it to the right of the serif. So on the right side, see? Use the corner of your pen. Second serif. Use the corner of your pen, and then just fill that in if you need. W, first stroke, keep to the right of that serif again. Come down, use the corner of your pen. And then you can start fairly far right here. I'll show you why in a second. And use the corner of your pen. Just fill that in. Then you can come over here. And I forgot to use the corner of my pen. And then a slab goes here. So you cross these two strokes here. You start this one to the right and start this one to the left, so that this slab has something to rest on, And then just like that, and final slab. Let's try that again. I think it might be wise to write this second slab before you write this stroke here, so that you have something to go off. Otherwise, you can see it ends up messy up there. So one more attempt. Try and get a good W here. Well, you get the idea. I'm having trouble with them today. X is simple. You just add 4 slabs. Keep to the right of that first one like you did in V and W. Keep to the left of this one if you can help it. Try not to write on a knot. And obviously this counter needs to be larger. Let me try that one more time. Y, you just add 3 slabs. It's again a simple letter. Keep to the right of it if you can help it. Come down, add this slab. And keep to the left of this one if you can help it, so you keep this white space somewhat clear. Z is simple. You start not at the top, but below it, come up and around, and curve it, and curve it. And then obviously you can add the middle stroke. I forget what you call it. It means this versus this, whichever one you prefer. And that is it for the slab serifs. Obviously, W, do as I say, not as I did, it's not the best W's. Otherwise, that's it for this episode. I'll see you in the next episode, part 5, where I'll be doing the Roman capitals. So in the next episode, I'll just be adding the flourishes right away. I won't be doing 2 episodes like I did with the Italic capitals. Yeah, see you in 10 days.